Terror probe after policewoman stabbed to death near Paris before knifeman gunned down. The victim had popped out of the station to change her parking disc on her car before she was attacked in the entrance to a police station in Rambouillet, southwest of Paris, at about 2:30 p.m., sparking a terror investigation in France. A female police officer was fatally stabbed by a knifeman who was then shot dead by at least one of her colleagues. The 49-year-old mum of two was slashed in the throat when she was attacked in the entrance to a police station in Rambouillet, southwest of Paris, at about 2:30 p.m. local time. French prosecutors have opened a terrorism investigation after a police officer was stabbed to death in her station. The attacker is said to have been a Tunisian national. French Prime Minister Jean Castex has described the attack as a barbaric gesture of infinite cowardice, describing the victim as one of our everyday heroines. The administrative officer, who was attacked as she returned from her lunch break, and the knifeman were both treated at the scene for their injuries. The victim, a police administrative agent, had popped out of the station to change her parking disc on her car just before she was attacked, said an investigating source. When she got back into the station, the man was waiting for her and slashed her throat twice with a knife, the source said. The killer was aged 37, and had arrived in France in 2019 as an immigrant without papers, before being given leave to remain, said the source, who added that he was not known to anti-terrorist officers. The source said, "The attack happened just after 2 p.m. The administrative officer was pounced on by the man, who slit her throat with a knife. The assailant was shot dead by police officers soon afterwards, as efforts were made to save the victim." The local prosecutor's office later announced that the officer had died. Yvan Assioma, of the Alliance Police Union, said the officer was a 49-year-old mum of two, who died at the scene. The officer was surprised by the attacker as she returned from lunch, a source told Le Parisien. The attacker had lived in France since 2009, the report added. French Interior Minister Gérald Darmanin, who was traveling to the scene, wrote on Twitter, "A police officer was the victim of a knife attack at the Rambouillet police station." Prime Minister Jean Castex was also on his way to the scene, with President Emmanuel Macron out of the country. A tweet on the Twitter account for the SCPN-A union, which represents national police officers, stated, "The national police is once again bereaved by a despicable attack. Support for the family and loved ones of our colleague. All police officers of all ranks and all bodies know that to serve is to risk one's life in the face of fanaticism and extremists." Local prosecutors were leading the investigation. Home to about 26,000 people, Rambouillet is about 40 miles southwest of Paris. Friday's incident follows 6 years of savage Islamist attacks in France, including the beheading of schoolteacher Samuel Paty by a Russian-born terrorist in October last year. The deadliest single terrorist attack ever in the country came in November 2015 when 130 people were killed in Paris. Suicide bombers pledging allegiance to ISIS targeted the Stade de France, cafes, restaurants and the Bataclan music venue, where 90 died. Earlier in the year, 2 Paris-born gunmen linked to Al-Qaeda broke into the offices of the Charlie Hebdo satirical magazine, leaving 12 dead and 11 wounded. In July 2016, 86 people were killed and more than 400 injured when a 19-ton truck was deliberately driven into crowds on the seafront promenade at Nice, in the south of France. The terrorist turned out to be a radicalized Tunisian immigrant who was shot dead by police. During the same month, 2 ISIS terrorists murdered an 86-year-old Catholic priest during a church service in Normandy. There have been frequent knife attacks on the forces of law and order, leading to the deaths of serving police. In October 2019, a radicalized computer operative working at the Paris prefecture in central Paris stabbed 4 of his colleagues to death. The attacker, who was also shot dead, turned out to be a Muslim convert who kept extremist Al-Qaeda and Islamic State literature and images on his computer.